Okay, the next tab we're going to look at is the stacks page, which is obviously crucial for baseball, probably as much as any other sport or more so. So let's click over to the stacks page. Again, from the player pool page, up at the top, you'll find all these different categories. On stacks, there's basically two main sections. There's quick stacks, which tells you what actual size lineups. So we're on the FanDuel site right now, so most you can stack is 4 per team, but you might want 4-4, 4-3, etc., etc. You can go all the way down, and you can use all these different categories, and you can set what percentage you want them. You can say, I want 25% of that, and 10% of that. Or you might just want all 4-4 stacks. You can set that at 100. Usually the way I do it, it's going to be different on FanDuel versus DraftKings depending on the day. But you want to decide, you can also go over the numbers. Like you could put, you want 50% 4-4 and 50% 3-3. Well, you could also put 20s in here, which that means that's going to give the lineup builder more flexibility to give you any of these that it sees as the highest projected. So you don't have to just set it to 100 if you're willing to just kind of give it some more freedom. But usually I'll tell it what I want, which might look something like this: 50% 4-4, 25% 4-3, 25% 3-3. Over here on the right, if you want to exclude like bottom of the lineup guys, you just check those boxes, and now it's only going to be batters 1 through 6. I usually leave them all in stacks personally, but that because if I don't want an 8 or 9 hitter, I usually have them X'd out on the player pool page. Now the main part of this page is the exposure summary. This is where you tell the builder which teams you want to stack and at what percentage. Now again, if you're doing a lot of work on the player pool page as far as Xing players out and giving players percentages, some of these teams are going to already be kind of blocked out. Like maybe you just X'd out all the Orioles players already. So your two choices are, you just pick out the couple of teams you want, put in a percentage. This first column, when you have a double stack like a 4-4 or a 4-3, the first number is going to be this first stack, the second number is going to be the second stack. So let's just say you want, there's just 4 teams you really like, you want to make sure you get. Maybe you could just put 25% each on these 4 teams. Now you're going to get all of your main stacks, your 4-player stacks, 75% of your 4-player stacks, and then 25% 3-player stacks will be from these 4 teams: Yankees, Braves, Red Sox, Rays. And then you want to set what teams do you want the second number to be, the other 4, the 3, and the 3. Again, you can go through each team and set a number of what you want, or if you want to give the builder more flexibility, you can just say, I'll take up to 20% of every team, and then which goes way over 100%, which basically means you're going to let the lineup builder just give you whatever the highest projected lineups are, but only to the extent that you'll have 20% at most of any team as a secondary stack. So if we do this, and then hit build, let's say you want 30 lineups. Give it just a second to go through the lineups. It's actually remarkable how fast this builder is. So now you'll see, if we go to on the lineups page, you'll see stack summary, combo summary. You'll see those 4 teams, Braves, Red Sox, Rays. It didn't really like the Yankees as much. They're probably expensive. I would have to look at that. And then you'll see what teams it's giving you as a secondary stacks. And this tells you what the builder likes that maybe you didn't like. So San Diego is a team that kind of pops in this build. So let's say you look at that and you go, actually, I don't want that many Padres. So you go back to the stacks and you say, on a Padres, and say, I actually only want 10% Padres secondary stack. Let's build a few more lineups to see what we get. And now Now we're building 50 lineups, and it still goes pretty quick. You can watch it counting up. That's what I do. I sit here and twiddle my thumbs very quickly as the lineup builder goes up to 50. You can build up to 300 at once, and it just takes like a minute. It's remarkable. So again, you go to the stack summary, see the 4 teams we wanted have the highest percentage. And then it's like in the Reds, the Padres, and the Pirates as secondary stacks. So you'll notice that from the way I did the giving the builder every team as an option for the secondary stacks with just these 4 teams, it really didn't give you that big of a spread of teams. It gave you the 4 you asked for, and then it pretty much just gave you Reds, Padres, and Pirates. So that goes back to when I said on the build rules page, you know, if you set your unique players to 5 and put some range of outcomes, put your hitter max exposure down without touching anything else. If we let it build, you'll get a different spread of players just by moving around these other buttons. That's why I went to showed you the build rules page first. So if you don't set any other numbers and just hit the stacks, it will give you basically the same couple of stacks that are projected highest. So the more you change the numbers on the build page, the more you'll get some different stacks, but you will still get those 4 teams you asked for as the highest owned stacks. But now you'll see you've got 7 teams as secondary stacks to go with those 4 main ones. And the more you change all those numbers, the more differential you'll get. So again, back to the stacks page, really the only 2 things, you might want to use batting order. I usually don't. Set your quick stacks, and then you get as picky or not as you want on these stacks. You can tell it exactly who you want and don't want, or just give it the freedom to give you whoever's going to be highest projected on that day. And that is the stacks page.